Okay, it says I'm live. I don't like that lighting. That is something I'm just going to have to work on. Well, that's not much better. That, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it'll work for now. Hey, everybody. Hey, Tom, you're early. Welcome, Tom. And Miguel Rangel is here. Welcome. Happy Sunday afternoon to most of you. I don't know. Maybe it's Monday morning for some of you. Yeah, I just like this lighting. I got to work on this because, well, that's a little better, I think. Maybe. Let's see. Might be a little better. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. How's everything else? Because I've rebooted the computer since then. And so how's the lighting? How's the sound? How's everything? How are you guys? So Ice Hand, Tom, Miguel Rangel is here. I think Matt might be live streaming right now. So we might have a smaller audience than normally. Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you, Tom. So Tom, here's have I got a little story for you. So I was trying to edit my LA Original Farmers Market episode. I had a lot of footage, but I realized when I was going to do the footage that I didn't have an intro and I didn't have an outro. And also I really didn't talk or do anything in between. And that's when you and Janice were out here. Well, Janice lives out here, but when you came up. And so I knew I had to add more footage to it and everything. And I thought, I would love to put you in. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But then as I looked at some of the videos, you're in the videos, but you're just not saying anything. And so I got new footage. I did some talking and stuff. And I think so what's going to happen is when that episode comes out, it's going to be like Find Tom. It's going to be like Where's Waldo? It's like Find Tom, because you're going to be in and out of the videos. You'll see you walking by and stuff. But unfortunately, we didn't record anything. Well, we did when we sat at that table and we did reviews of snacks and stuff. We did do stuff there, but we just didn't do. We had nothing of you or Janice talking. So but I fixed it, and so it'll be fun. We'll play Find the Tom. And that will be a fun game. Speaking of Janice, she's not always early. How is everybody? We're just getting past a week of rain. I mean, essentially a solid week of rain. I think we had one day in the middle, maybe it was Wednesday, Thursday, I can't remember exactly, but we had one day in the middle where we didn't have rain. Well, actually, we had some rain in the afternoon. But then the rest of the week, solid rain all day. And now, if you know anything about Southern California, that's unusual. That's unusual to have solid rain. They had flooding in some areas, certainly not in the area where I'm staying. So yeah, interesting week of solid rain. So I don't think there's much rain in the forecast for the week coming up. So that'll be kind of nice. Getting ready for the holiday, which the Thanksgiving holiday or the Christmas holiday. Oh, Stoner Kitchen is here too. Welcome, Stoner. Good to see you. I've been living in the rain. That's true. Yeah, that's true. And so a lot of you are in Southern California, and so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, so I know a lot of people who already have the Christmas tree up, and the idea is like, I don't know if there's a tradition to when you're supposed to put the Christmas tree up. I think sort of unwritten tradition is that you put it up the day after Thanksgiving, or most people put it up the day after Thanksgiving. But yeah, a lot of people, like, they've already had theirs up for a couple of weeks, and I hope it's not a live one. Oh, Ziller's back. I hope you all having a great day. I smoked some salmon and chicken today. How do you keep that lit? Like when you're smoking salmon or chicken, how do you keep those lit? No, I'm kidding. That both sounds really, really good. Smoked salmon is off the hook. Oh, okay. Everybody's saying hello. Yeah. So Tom, help me out here, because we have coming up in is it going to be the day before Thanksgiving, Tom? The George and Pudgy Thanksgiving episode. So we it's a 4-foot tree. Is it a real tree though, or is it a artificial tree? Tom. So as you know, Tom's other channel is the Old Guy Radio Players, and he does 1940s radio shows. And one of the regular shows that we've been doing the longest, I think, is the George and Pudgy Show. Just kind of, I mean, think of like the Honeymooners on the radio. You know, it's that kind of thing. And it's a lot of fun to do. But there is a Thanksgiving episode coming out. And so, Tom, I'm just checking with you. Oh, fake. That's the way to go. We had a fake tree. We got got rid of everything, but we had a fake tree for years. Thanksgiving episode will be okay Wednesday. All right, cool. So watch for that, guys. The George and Pudgy Show Thanksgiving episode will be up on Wednesday. Also on Trippy Food, we have our Thanksgiving special. Now, our Thanksgiving special is so epic that we have to do it over 3 days. So we broke it up into 3 parts. And it's basically a road trip and pilgrimage, get it, pilgrimage, to Plymouth Rock. So we made a pilgrimage to Plymouth Rock, but we stopped at a bunch of places on the way. And so it's just this epic voyage to see the America's first roadside attraction. And hope you guys enjoy that. So the first episode comes out Tuesday, part 2 comes out Wednesday, and part 3 comes out on Thanksgiving Day. So you're going to want to see that. Well, maybe you're not. I don't know. Hopefully, you'll want to see that. It should be fun. All right. My Xmas tree. My Christmas tree smells like a skunk. Bought it off a hippie in a parking lot. Does it smell like skunk weed, or does it smell like a skunk? Literally smell like a skunk. That's funny. So I take it you got a live one. Yeah, live ones are okay as long as, you know. I mean, sometimes it's a crapshoot. Like you could buy it pretty early. Make sure you get it in water and stuff, and still, you know, drops all the needles and gets dry and everything. So I don't know. They got more and more expensive over the years, and so I think like investing in a really nice artificial tree that you reuse year to year, I think probably makes a lot of sense. So. And that's just me. I mean, some people just will not have an artificial tree because of the smell, you know, because you get the nice pine smell in the house. Not that skunk smell, obviously, that you're getting, Stoner, but the pine smell that you get. And they do have like sprays, like what do you call it? You know, like a Febreze kind of thing, the sprays that smell like pine, but they don't smell exactly like pine and everything. You know, maybe like if you want to duplicate that pine thing is to get a whole bunch of pine needles and then boil them, but like boil them on the stove, but just kind of let the steam go in the room and kind of permeate the air with that smell. So that might be one way to do it. I will tell you that one of the things that I miss, and I'm going to see if I can get to Galco's and get it. And I think it should be a traditional Christmas drink. Is the Empire? I think it's Empire Bottling. If I'm not mistaken, Empire Bottling spruce beer, and it's actually made with spruce, which is a pine tree, and it tastes like drinking a Christmas tree. And so I think that should be a regular holiday drink. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get out there and get some. One of the things that I was reading about Dr. Pepper is Dr. Pepper. Because Dr. Pepper was once touted as like for a winter drink to drink it warm with, I think, lemon in it, warm with lemon in it. So as a winter drink. And I think they started that back, maybe it was in the 70s or so. And I don't know if it ever took off or anything, but I think we're going to have to try that. I'm going to try warm Dr. Pepper with lemon in it. In some places in the South, I know that they drink Dr. Pepper and probably Coca-Cola and put peanuts in it. I've seen people like they put peanuts in a bottle of Coke or a bottle of Dr. Pepper and do it that way. I tried that once. I think it was in Davis, California. For some reason, the person I was with had said, "Oh, have you ever tried this?" I'm like, "No," and I tried it, and I'm like, "That's okay," because it'd be one thing if it added a peanut taste to the soda, but it doesn't. It really basically what happens is you get a mouthful of soda and a mouthful of peanuts, and then you have to chew the peanuts. So it's kind of like an odd thing. And you know me, I'm all about odd, but to me, maybe that's a little bit pushing the odd thing. Pine needle tea is very high in vitamin C. Well, there you go. So you bring up an interesting point. If you're going to do that, and if you're going to boil pine needles so you get that smell of pine in the air, you might as well drink the tea, right? Now, is there a rule of thumb for that? Like, are you supposed to only use like the green tips, or can you use any pine needles at all? Is there some sort of rule about that? No kidding. The real tree at the stores are not. Are you serious? I mean, I haven't bought a real tree in years. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Like $90 to $100 for a Christmas tree, and for one that you're going to throw away at the end of the year. So, like, to me, I would think that if you're going to spend like $100 on a Christmas tree, that you're going to somehow use that wood for something. But to me, that just seems like crazy to spend $100 for something that you're just going to throw out at the end of the year. So that's a $100 disposable item. Always wanted to try and make pine needle Sprite. Yeah, I saw something. I saw a video of some guy doing that, and he basically boiled the pine needles and he put that in sparkling water, but it wasn't actually Sprite. I think he just used sparkling water or something like that. I think if you make pine needle Sprite, I think if you can get the Empire Bottling spruce, they call spruce beer, I think that's the same thing. I think it's essentially the thing. Let me check, because I think it was Empire Bottling, if I'm not mistaken. This is me trying to talk and type at the same time. Yes, it is. Empire Bottling spruce beer. Let's see. Did it have ingredients? Ingredients: naturally carbonated artesian spring water, 100% cane sugar, extract flavor, citric acid, and sodium benzoate. This is extract flavor, but it doesn't really say that it's from spruce, but we have to assume that it is. So, yeah. Now I got to go back and get some. I got to go back to Galco's and get some of that. Hey, Jeff, welcome. Glad you can make it. Well, happy Sunday to you. I think it's Sunday where you are, right? I would assume it'd be the green needles. Well, yeah, I would assume also you don't want to use the brown dried up ones, but you have the dark green ones, the bigger needles, and then on the ends you have the young green needles. And I don't know if like you can use both, or you can use the older green needles or just the green tips or something. I honestly don't. And it has to be a white pine. How do you know that? How do you know if it's a white pine? You ask it, like, hey, Mr. Pine, are you white? No, you put needles with sugar water, and the natural yeast ferments in a few days. Is it the yeast in where does the yeast come in? Where is the natural yeast? Is the natural yeast in the pine or in the sugar? Oh, it gets fizzy. Okay. It sounds like it could be dangerous, though, if you're not careful. Like, I guess you would use distilled water and cane sugar. I don't know. It'd be interesting to look into. Hey, Joshua, glad you can make it. Joshua Maxwell is here, everybody. We had a very badly freezer burned pork roast. I put it outside, and the magpies have been enjoying an easy lunch. So you let it thaw out, and then you just put it out raw, and the magpies are eating it. I didn't know magpies would like eat meat like that. I know they're related to crows, and they eat other small animals and roadkill and stuff, but I didn't know that they would eat like a whole pork roast. So the yeast is in the needles. Okay. Yeah, it sounds to me like that would work. You just have to be really, really careful. It's kind of like people making their own kombucha. So kombucha is like a fermented tea. They put some other stuff in it as well, but it's essentially a ferment. I think they put some kind of mushroom in it or something, but it's a fermented tea. And some people die because they don't make it right, and you get some like bacteria or something in it that will kill you. So I think you have to be really, really careful. You have to make sure you sterilize the equipment that you're using. You probably have to keep the air out. So like maybe you use canning jars or something. I don't know. It'd be interesting to look into, and maybe that's something that we should do. Maybe it's something we should try. and also you want to be careful where you get your pines because, it's in a place where they use a lot of fertilizer and they use a lot of pesticides and stuff like that. That's going to be in the needles too. So they are scavengers. Yes, they are. Well, crows are, in addition to being scavengers, are also, there's a reason they call a group of crows a murder of crows. I remember this one company I worked for, sitting by one of the other people that I work with, their office was by a window. And I just heard this screaming coming from the office. And I ran in, I go like, what's the matter? Are you okay? And like, yeah, it's the crow. And I'm like, what's wrong with the crow? And they're like, there's nothing wrong with the crow. He just killed a baby bird. I mean, it wasn't a baby bird. It was just a small bird. The small bird was hopping along. Crow came up behind it, pecked it to death, and then just started eating it. So, that was their lunchtime. Their lunchtime performance was watching that crow kill and eat the small bird. We're talking homemade Sprite or gin. Sprite, homemade Sprite, not gin. Have you done that before, Nashies? Have you made that before? Because one of the things that we were talking about is the possibility of being very careful of, if you're going to make a homemade thing that ferments, that you have to be very, very careful that you don't kill yourself. And I don't know what the process is. I'm sure you have to sterilize everything and use, pure water and make sure there's no air in it or something like that. Are you familiar with the process, Nashies? Have you done that before? And by the way, welcome, Nashies. Not very dangerous. Only danger is if you get the wrong species of pine, you'll get a stomachache, but that's about it. Emmy Maid has a good video on it. Oh, and she goes through all the things to watch out for and all things to be careful of. Because I think it was Stoner that was saying that you can only use white pine. And how do you know that? If you go into the public park and you look at a pine tree and you go, is that a white pine? Last time we had meat like that out for the birds, we had a red-tailed hawk sit for hours eating it. I can imagine, yeah. Which is surprising because I don't know that hawks really go for roadkill as much as they like to kill and eat what they're eating. But all right, everybody's saying hello. We're at 17 past. We might as well get started. I don't know where Janice is, and I'm not sure if Julie's going to join us today, but we do have a nice crew here, so we might as well get started. Today, our grab bag is sponsored by Kroger. It's not sponsored by Kroger. I'm just using your bag. All right, so we have a fine lineup of beverages and snacks for you today. So as usual, we're going to start with our adult beverage, and here is our adult beverage. Now, you'll notice this is an India Pale Ale, and the reason that it's an India Pale Ale is because I thought to myself, I have not given much attention to IPAs. IPAs are kind of a crapshoot for me. Sometimes they're just too bitter to be enjoyable. So I haven't liked a lot of IPAs, but I don't think I've given them much of a chance, and I just wanted to try something interesting and different. So this one looked really interesting and different. This is from Latitude 33 Degrees. Excuse me, Latitude 33 Degrees Brewing. Latitude 33 Degrees Brewing Blood Orange IPA. So I thought that sounded really interesting, really fun. It is a whopping 7.2% ABV. So, Uncle Val's got to drink this a little bit slow. Latitude 33 Brewing was founded in 2012 by Kevin Buckley in Vista, California. Vista is, I think, one of the suburbs of San Diego, if I'm not mistaken. And again, this is made with blood orange. So let's talk about blood oranges for a second. Blood oranges contain a substance called anthocyanin. What is the purpose of anthocyanin? Again, what is the purpose of anthocyanin? All right, did I miss something? So the bird we have, buzzards eating roadkill. Yeah, oh yeah, that's all. That's what they eat. I don't think vultures actually kill anything. I think they only eat roadkill. White pine equals needles in clusters of 5. Easy way to identify. Or you can just buy the Empire Bottling Works spruce beer, which I might do. So only because there might be some pine trees here, but I'd have to search around and find. I still think it'd be something interesting to do. I think that they would be something interesting. All right, so let's get this open. Again, Latitude 33 Degrees Blood Orange India Pale Ale. I got the bottle opener, but I don't think we need it today because everything is in a can. I don't like pouring out of a can. And that's why, because it gets all over the place. Anybody else? Anybody else have that same experience? You try to pour out of a can and it just goes everywhere? Or is it just me? I'll accept the fact that it's just me. What do you guys think? Did that ever happen to you guys? Huh? When you try to, or maybe the idea is just don't try to pour it though. I'll just drink it right out of the can. But I want you guys to see it. Ooh, that has a really strong fruity smell. And it doesn't really look like blood orange. It's orangey, but I'm not sure like I've ever seen a beer this color before. Not much of a head on it, but that's okay. Maybe that's the thing about IPAs. I don't think IPAs do have like a much of a foaming head. And again, I got to drink this slowly because it's a 7.2. Okay, still has that bitterness of IPA. I'm waiting for the citrusy flavor to kick in and the sweetness of the blood orange. It's not as crisp as a lot of IPAs are. So it almost has a kind of a creaminess to it. So a lot of IPAs are kind of crisp, really crisp. It kind of reminds me of the time that I went to Rogue Brewery, where they actually grow the hops, and I went into the place where they roast the hops, and I saw all the roasted hops on the ground in a big mound, and I mistakenly asked the person who was giving the tour, "Can you eat those?" And she says, "Yeah, they're roasted. Yeah, you can eat them. You go ahead and try one if you want." I'm like, okay. Biggest mistake of my life. Couldn't get the taste out of my mouth for 3 days. Val might be ready to review pizza after this beer. Well, if I drink it the way I drank that Clamato, then yes, because that Clamato is about a 5% ABV, which is standard. Hey, Dave Aiken is here. Welcome, Dave. Ooh. Let's see, and Portmanteau is here. Matt must not be live streaming. I thought I saw something saying where he's live streaming, but he must not, because these are a lot of the same people that would be on Matt's live stream, unless they're doing double duty. So okay, it's about typical for an IPA, and if you like that IPA bitter, that hoppy IPA bitterness, you'll like this, I think. But to me, the blood orange flavor is too light. There's not enough blood orange flavor in there for something that, it comes in an orange can and it has blood orange in big letters on the outside. I think they kind of missed the boat there a little bit. I'm going to give that a thumbs in the middle, trending upward. A thumbs in the middle because they missed the boat on the blood orange part. Thumbs trending upward because it's actually one of the better IPAs I've had. I like the fruitier IPAs and not the bitter ones so much. And this does have some of that bitterness, but it's not too bad. So yeah, thumbs in the middle, trending upward on that one. All right. So, okay. Everyone's just exchanging niceties. All right. Let me know again. I'll kind of remind people because we're kind of a small group. And so this is still a good time for me to make sure that I don't miss anything. So if like somebody asks a question or somebody says something that needs my attention, everything, if I miss it, please let me know. All right. Our question was about blood oranges. And the question was, blood oranges contain a substance called anthocyanin. What is its purpose? Let's see. Nashi says antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Looks like she's the only one that answered. While that may be correct, the actual answer I was looking for is it provides the red color. It's the anthocyanin that provides the red color of a blood orange. So, but you're probably right too. So, which is okay because, this isn't a competition or anything. So you don't have to go on to the lightning round or anything like that. Val, are you happy to not be dealing with snow right now? No, I love snow. Portmanteau, I love snow. I would love to be like when I stay at Julie's. I say she'll say like, oh, it's supposed to snow really bad tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll shovel the driveway tomorrow. She said, we don't have to shovel the driveway, Dad. Chris has a snowblower, and I'm like, I want to shovel the driveway. You know, the thing is, I like places with 4 distinct seasons. Oregon came close to that. So Oregon did have a fall with leaves change color. Now, it's because they imported maple trees. Maple trees are not native to the Pacific Northwest, but they did have maple trees in Portland that would change color. And that's because you have to have the right climate to grow. Like, you can't grow maple trees in California or Texas or, you know, in any of the southern states. They just won't grow because you don't have the right weather for it. But you do have the right weather for it in Portland. It's not like the freezing cold weather that they thrive in, but it still gets cold enough for the maple trees to do well. So I do like that they do have a distinct fall, because fall is my favorite time of the year, and I love winter, and especially with snow. And in the Portland area, we did get some snow, but it's like maybe like sometimes you'll go a year with no snow, and then the following year you might get a little bit of snow, and then the following year you might get like a snowstorm. But it was enough to give me 4 seasons and stuff, and I kind of like that. So here in Southern California, it's like, what do they say? The 4 seasons in Southern California are mudslides, earthquakes, fires, and riots. Those are the 4 seasons in Southern California. So love IPA. I like some bitterness in my beer. Hops are the same family as cannabis. I did not know that. That is interesting. Yeah, I like some bitterness as well. I just don't like some like I will never forget that feeling of putting that roasted hop in my mouth and trying to eat that, and it just like immediately drying my mouth out and leaving that taste in there for 3 days. So I don't like when it's that hoppy, but you know, a little bit of hops goes a long way with me. Let's see. I feel you on that. I wish we had more seasonal colors, if nothing else. Yeah, well, in Southern California, you have the sweet gums. And the sweet gums, if you're not familiar with what a sweet gum is, it's that tree. The leaves almost look like maples. They have the points like maples. They have those hard spiky balls that drop from the tree. And like if you got like a big one in front of your house and everything, it's really annoying because it's like all over the sidewalk are those hard spiky balls. You guys know what I'm talking about? So that tree is called a sweet gum, and those do change color, but they like towards the end of November right now, and this is where they should be changing color. Now, I did notice it this year that they're just turning brown. They're just turning brown and falling down, which is the same thing. I was fortunate enough to be in Massachusetts in peak season in autumn, and they had a less than stellar autumn than normal because of the drought. They've had a drought and they've had heat conditions. I think when I was up there October, there was like a week in October, like the temperature went over 90 degrees. That's unheard of. And the maple trees and those trees, they don't like that. So the fall colors weren't really that great this year. And like I said, here in Southern California, where the sweet gums usually provide all that color, they're not really changing color. The ginkgos, they turn yellow, and that can be nice. So they are changing yellow to yellow right now. So we're kind of having our fall right now here. We have those in the Bay Area too, where a lot of our color comes from in the fall. You're talking about the sweet gums, Portmanteau? I have a sweet gum tree in my front yard. Yeah. You have to pick up those little spiky balls all the time, Joshua, in the fall? We have some imported trees here that change color. Do you know what they are, Nashies? The fall for me is my favorite time of the year, and it's just like no place for me beats fall in New England every year. So this past year, we took Haley, one of my granddaughters. The other one Chloe had some other stuff to do, but we did take Haley on our annual pilgrimage up to New Hampshire to see the fall foliage. And even though the fall foliage wasn't spectacular, it's a fun family thing and a tradition in our family that was always nice. So I'm grateful that I got to do that this year. All right. One more sip, and then we're on to our snacks. I think it's either it gets better as you let it sit, or just like each sip you get more flavor out of it and everything. I'm still not getting that blood orange flavor, but that's okay. All right, let's dig into our grab bag and go to our first snack. I hope that's not it. Where are you hiding, Mr. Snack? Ah. All right. Now, these are from Blue Diamond almond growers. Blue Diamond almonds, right? I don't know why there's a cup of Slurpee on there. I don't know why there's a Slurpee cup on there, right? But this is cherry flavor. It doesn't say artificial cherry flavor. It just says cherry flavored. Cherry flavored almonds. I thought that was like really, really strange, but this is from Blue Diamond. Blue Diamond was founded as the California Almond Growers Exchange. It was founded in 1910 in Sacramento, California. The name was changed to Blue Diamond Growers in 1980. Why do I have a question about blueberries? These are cherries. All right. I'm going to ask it anyways because I wrote it down. I don't know. That's what happens when you write down your questions in the middle of the night. So we'll ask the question about blueberries. These are cherries, not blueberries, but we'll ask the question about blueberries. Blueberries are nutrient dense with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. Again, that's nutrient dense with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. What is this type of food called? There are multiple foods that have these features. What are those foods called? Let's see. Oh God, not the Slurpee almonds. I ate those. Oh, you tried these and you're doing the crying face? Now, are these supposed to taste like a Slurpee or are they supposed to taste like cherry? I just saw the cherry. I saw the Blue Diamond and everything. I didn't really notice the cup, and I'm thinking like, why Slurpee? Is this supposed to taste like a Slurpee? I don't get it. Those are Slurpee flavored almonds. All right, even stranger. So even better, right? My grandma worked for Blue Diamond for years. Yeah, I guess they're still up in the Sacramento area. We used to pick them up now, but now we let them decompose. How well do they decompose though? Because they're kind of woody, aren't they, Joshua? You're talking about the spiky balls from the sweet gums. Let's see. Excellent source of antioxidant vitamin B. 7 grams of protein. They're saying all these nice things about it. I don't see everything comes in. Let's see. Almonds, cherry seasoning. Cherry seasoning? I don't know what that means. Potato? Maltodextrin? Vegetable juice. Fruit juice. Sugar. Cherry flavor. Contains tree nuts. Contains tree nuts, almonds. Yeah, well, you better contain tree nuts, almonds. That's what I bought. They give a warning. Contains tree nuts, almonds. Who is buying this? Who says, "Oh, I better not buy that"? It says that there's almonds in here. Nashies, now you have me scared. You got me scared, Nashies. That's a weird smell. It doesn't smell like almonds, but somebody told me, and this person who told me this was at Bodie Ghost Town, which is up in the High Sierra Mountains. You know, not too far from Nevada, the Nevada line, but in the middle of nowhere. The Bodie Ghost Town, awesome place. If you ever get a chance to get out that way and visit Bodie Ghost Town, basically people lived there from the late 1800s until the 1950s. And in the 1950s, they just abandoned the town. And so, if you look to the windows in the houses, you can still see like tables set with dishes and stuff like that. And people just kind of left town and left everything there. But there's an old gold mine in the middle of the town. And the state park ranger or whatever you want to call the guy was saying that they don't let you tour the not the mine itself, but the place where they would refine the gold, because they used to use cyanide to refine the gold. And so what they said is the rule of thumb is if you ever go into like one of those old mining places or something, if you smell almonds, get out, because that's cyanide gas that you smell. Because almonds actually produce cyanide. But just I think there's more of a risk if you eat raw almonds as opposed to roasted almonds. And you have to eat a whole lot of them to get that cyanide gas inside you. So the thing is like if you smell almonds, get out of wherever you are, because it's probably cyanide gas. Blue Diamond makes a fantastic nut. I hope it's one of these in this bag. Superfood come with a cape. Matt has a vision. These, so do I. Video. Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. So, do they have other ones besides the cherry, or is it just the cherry one? Notice I opened this one from the bottom. Like, I don't think there's a practical reason, but that's okay. Oh, you've been there. You've been to Bodie. Isn't Bodie amazing? Also been to Castleton, which is abandoned in a similar way, also on Mining Town. And the thing is that there's so much fun stuff to do up in the Sierras, like Manzanar, which is definitely worth a visit. It's historical and educational, and timely. And then also Mono Lake. Mono Lake is interesting, and they're supposed to be putting water back in to raise the level back up. And until they do, it's a really, really interesting place to visit. Hey, hello, kitty. All right, here we go. Kind of velvety red color there. Oh. That's weird. That's weird. Now, I will say that is weird, but they do really come close to the taste of a Slurpee. But that's where the comes in. I'm not a big fan of Slurpees. And again, I didn't even realize that. I just saw the cherry and thought it was cherry flavored. But they're going with cherry Slurpee. Slurpee is not one of my, or even Icy's, not one of my favorite flavors. But you know what? I'm going to have to give this a thumbs up. And why am I going to give this a thumbs up? Because they do come really close to replicating the taste of a cherry Slurpee. So, it is as advertised. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm going to do. It's not a fun thing. It's not something that I would want to do again, ever. But it's interesting. They do provide the flavor that they say they do. So I'm going to say thumbs up, trending downward because of the flavor itself. So if you like kind of sweet stuff, or you like Slurpees, you probably love those. But for me, thumbs up, trending downward a little bit. Have you been to the Salton Sea Valley? Yes, I have. And so is it as bad as they say? Well, it depends on what you mean bad. Sometimes desolation can be beautiful, and just amazing in its desolation. Like, for instance, the Badlands in South Dakota. I've been to the Badlands in South Dakota. I stopped my car. It was kind of in the middle of the Badlands. I just stopped my car, and there wasn't another car or person or anything for miles. No matter where you looked, there was nobody. But me, the genius, went to South Dakota in February. But there wasn't anybody else for miles, and it was just like desolation. Not a lot of trees out there or anything. It's just kind of like wasteland. The Salton Sea is very similar, except it's a big body of water. It's like there's no waves. It's completely flat, and there's death like all over the place. So like there's like fish bones and stuff on the shore. There's kind of this chemical. It's salt, mostly salt, and this kind of there is some chemical in there because a lot of the farm's runoff went into that body of water, and It's so funny because Salton Sea used to be like the hot spot. Like people would drive out to LA, they would do water skiing and swimming and sports and stuff like that. And then over a period of time, the water just became polluted. It started receding. It became saltier, and nothing could live in it. I think there's a fish. There's a tiny little fish that lives in there, and it's about the only thing that can live in the salinity of that sea, lake, whatever you want to call it. But it's beautiful in its desolation. If you go to Reckless Eating, we did a We Go Maine show where we went out that way. We went to Salvation Mountain. We went to Slab City, and one of the places we visited was Salton Sea and with Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach was interesting because there's it's kind of an artist community, but it's kind of a scary artist community. So yeah, I see if I can find. Well, I'll look afterwards. But yeah, we did a We Go Maine show on Reckless Eating out there, and there was some really cool and kitschy and unusual stuff to see out there. The Banana Museum was unfortunately closed. Favorite Slurpee flavor? I don't really have one. I'm not a big fan of Slurpees, so I just probably the Coca-Cola Slurpee. I think I kind of like that one, the Coca-Cola Slurpee. Haven't seen any uploads from you. We're talking about Tom. Okay, Tom. Hello Kitty. Tom. Hello Kitty is asking you about uploads. But yes, I have been to the Salton Sea, and there's a lot of desolation. I don't think we did an episode there. I don't think we did any Trippy Food episode there. We might have done it at Salvation Mountain, but I don't think we did one at Salton Sea. But Matt definitely covered Salton Sea, and I'm in that video. So, alrighty. The question was, blueberries are nutrient dense with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. What is this type of food called? Let's see. Portmanteau said superfoods. Ice Hand said superfoods. Tom says superfoods come with a cape. Not all heroes wear capes, Tom. Tom, do you remember, I think it was The Watchmen, how they talked about how superheroes shouldn't wear capes? And the reason is because one of them got caught in a revolving door, or I think they gave several examples of superheroes that got done in because their cape got caught in revolving doors or turnstiles or helicopter blades or something along those lines. So yeah, not all heroes wear capes. Let's see. It looks like those are the only answers, and yes, you're absolutely correct. It is superfoods. Superfoods provide vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. So you're absolutely correct. All right, let's move on to snack number 2. What did I just do? No? Yeah, that's okay. All right. Now, these are from Diana. That's not a person, that's a company. And we've done some Diana snacks before. These are alboroto caramel corn. They look crunchy. I don't know if it's more like, they kind of look like the Inga corn, like corn nuts, and then coated in caramel. That's what they look. I like that. New look, mismo sabor, same taste. New look, same taste. I don't remember what the old look was. Caramel flavored corn. But it's not, I don't think it's caramel corn. I think it's caramel flavored corn. So I think, and this is a product of El Salvador because Producto Diana was founded in 1951 by Max Olano and Pablo Tesac in San Salvador, El Salvador. By the way, alboroto, which I think is their the product line or the product itself, is a Spanish word for riot or rampage. So I guess if you eat this, I'm guessing if you eat this around somebody who has misophonia, you're going to start a riot or a rampage. That's my guess. So again, these are from Diana. So the question is, how did Diana Productos Diana. How did Diana initially distribute its products? Has kind of a holiday smell, and I'm not sure what I mean by that. They look like rocks. So when I start eating these and somebody says, "Are you eating rocks?" I probably am. They look like a cross between the like corn nuts and popcorn. This is really weird. They're puffy. They're not crunchy. They're puffy. They taste like corn puffs. And when I say corn puffs, like what is like a corn, like Sugar Smacks? I think it's a puffed corn cereal, right? Sugar Smacks. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. That's me just moving my foot. Sorry to go off camera like that. I like these because the coating is kind of sugary. The only crunchy part about that is the coating. The coating's crunchy. The inside is puffy. So it's like I said, Sugar Smacks, I think is the cereal. They're kind of misshapen though. It's kind of weird. So like I don't know if it's it's the inside. It's like it's not corn nuts and it's not popcorn. It's like somewhere in between. The caramel isn't like overly sweet. It doesn't taste like you're eating one of those Brock's caramel chews or anything like that. And the taste of the caramel and the corn together actually go pretty well. So me, somebody who doesn't like caramel, I don't even have to like suspend my bias to rate those because they're actually pretty good. They're light on the caramel. Like if you love caramel, you might not like these. You might not think there's enough caramel in it, but for me, there's just enough to give you that taste without kind of going overboard. They're not exceptionally sweet. I like the texture of the puffed corn as opposed to the fried corn or however they make corn nuts, and it's not like as light as popcorn and everything. So yeah, that's a thumbs up for me. So our question was, how did Diana initially distribute its products? Looks like Icehand is the only one that answered that and said bicycles, and that's because he is absolutely correct. It is bicycles. All right. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this one's going to be interesting. This is Chipstar. We've done Chipstar. Chipstar is the product line. We've done them before. They are from YBC, and YBC is the Yamazaki Biscuits Company from Japan. These are Chipstar. I had to look really carefully to see what they are because they have exceptionally Japanese writing like all over this can. These are unagi flavored chips. Now, again, Chipstar chips are made sort of like Pringles, where they take the potato flakes and they kind of form them. Potato flake being the top ingredient. Now, the thing that separates these from Pringles is Pringles also uses wheat and I think maybe even corn. And they kind of mix those together. But this is potato. So the ingredients are potato flake, vegetable oil, eel, just eel, right? Roasted soy sauce. How do you roast soy sauce? Cornstarch, cocoa powder. Wow. Eel extract powder. Eel extract. There's eel like 8 times in the ingredients. Eel extract, friend of eel, someone who knows eel, a guy what knows a guy that knows eel. Japanese sweet wine, MSG, soya lecithin, aspartame. That's interesting. And water. Does it have sugar in it and aspartame? That would be weird. It does not. Oh, yes, it does. It has sugar and aspartame. That doesn't make any sense. All right. So again, this is a product of YBC. YBC is a Yamazaki biscuits company. It was founded in 1948 by Tojiro Ijima. The Chipstar product line was introduced in 1976 in Ichikawa City, Japan. So because this is eel, unagi is eel, our question will be about eel. What fish is often referred to as the slime eel? And here's a little hint. It is not a true eel. Which fish is often referred to as the slime eel? You guys still out there? I just see Ice Hand's last post, and didn't see anything after that. Factory sealed for my protection. You guys are there, right? Somebody talk to me. I mean, I'll sit here and talk to myself for the next hour, but thanks, Tom. But you know, I don't like to. I like that. I like to interact. All right, eel chips. I guess maybe those brown spots are eel. It's hard to say. Ooh, that's an interesting flavor. I wish that American chip companies, or like Pringles, when they say something tastes like something, it actually, like, if something tastes like a roast beef, if Pringles is going with a like roast beef sandwich, then it actually tastes like a roast beef sandwich, which it never does because it doesn't have roast beef in it. This has eel in it. There's an eel all over it, and it tastes like eel. Ice Hand, you're still there. Here, there, and everywhere. I gotta do cleaning afterwards. Good day for it, Portmanteau. I like these. I like these a lot. Now, I suppose you have to like the taste of eel. It's not as fishy. There's a really strong soy sauce taste. I think the soy sauce taste is a little bit stronger than the eel taste. But the eel doesn't taste fishy. The eel to me is savory and almost meatier than typically what you're going to get from fish. But those are really nice. I got these at H Mart. At H Mart. So if you guys are at H Mart, check these out. These are really good. I would go out and get these if I were you because they're really, really good. Matt says hello. Well, tell Matt I said hello, Stoner. Port is eating crunch wrap. Did I do a crunch wrap? I feel like there was it's a vegan crunch wrap. I think there was the Taco Bell in Hollywood, which is a Taco Bell cantina. They offer stuff that they don't offer at other Taco Bells, and I think they had a vegan crunch wrap, and I think I think I reviewed the vegan crunch wrap. Hey, I'll tell you in a second. Let's see. Did I do the vegan crunch wrap? Pretty sure I did. I eat vegan food. I did. All right, let me see if I get that link for you. Because Julie and Janice are not to be found. There you go. So I just posted the link for that. That is our vegan crunch wrap episode. Vegan crunch wrap and steak chili verde fries. So there are two items that they had at the Taco Bell Cantina in Los Angeles that they didn't have in other places. They're bringing soup, sausage, kale, potato, and white bean. That sounds like a nice combination. Soup, there it is. Yeah, these are really good. Thumbs way up on that. My question was, we were talking about eel, and the question was, what fish is often referred to as the slime eel? Let's see. Did anybody even guess? I don't even see any guesses. You can tell Janice isn't here. There are no guesses. The hagfish. The hagfish is often referred to as the slime eel. If you guys are unfamiliar with the hagfish, the Koreans eat it. I'm not sure how they prepare it because I tried to do it and I did it spectacularly wrong. And it was so spectacularly wrong that I was filming the episode hoping it was going to come out good and I was going to dig into some nice, delicious slime eel. And it turns out that I didn't get to eat it at all. And if you want to, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to find that episode and post that for you. Let's see. That was hagfish. It was, if you want to talk about my episodes that were a spectacular failure, my hagfish episode was exactly that, a spectacular failure. And I don't mind sharing that with you guys because sometimes that can be actually kind of funny. So here is my hagfish episode with Uncle Val trying to make hagfish and failing in a spectacular way. Not familiar with it because of my seafood allergy. I don't know. Are you allergic to all seafood, like all fish and stuff? Because I don't even know. Like this thing might be from another planet. It might not even be like something earthly. But either way, yeah. So the hagfish is often referred to as the slime eel because that's what it uses for protection. It excretes this slime through its skin. So if something tries to catch it, it just excretes that slime and just slimes its way out. That's what it does. All right. So that's 3 snacks. That is 3 snacks. We have 1 more snack, and then we are on to our soft drink. How are we doing on time? We're right at the top of the hour. We're doing just fine. Thank you for asking. We're doing Pop Daddy pretzels again. We've done Pop Daddy pretzels before, but this one looked really interesting. So they're jumping on the elote wagon, and this is Mexican street corn flavored Pop Daddy pretzel sticks. Pop Daddy Snacks was founded in 2013 by Mark and Aaron Sarafa in Detroit, Michigan. Why? I am looking at, okay, I guess I can see. I'm looking at some of the questions that I came up with and I go like, why? What does that have to do with anything? So because these are called Pop Daddy, the question is about pop music. So the question is, who was the musician behind the band M, the artist who performed pop music, the song Pop Music? Who was the musician behind M, the artist who performed pop music? Yeah, these are bold snacks made with big heart, hand seasoned in small batches, made with flavors so bold it's lip smacking, finger lock. A lot of text on here. Goodness and crunch, made in Michigan. That's all it says. Let's see. Is there even corn in here? See, here's the thing. These are pretzels, right? Now, when you do elote, street corn, you have flavors on top of corn. Here, they're putting those same flavors. Like I imagine it's like it's the cheese, it's the butter, it's the mayonnaise, tahini. But if you don't have that corn flavor, you kind of get lost a little bit. Let's see. Pretzels, main ingredient, of course. Let's see. Oil, seasoning, whey, salt, lime juice powder. That's all fine. Chili powder. That's all fine. Buttermilk solids. That's probably going to be the cheese. Smoked paprika, garlic powder, natural smoke flavor. Citric. I'm not seeing corn. And I would think that somehow, some way, you kind of need to work the flavor of corn in here. If you're going to do Mexican street corn, it's like they're doing the Mexican street corn toppings. I don't know how this is going to work. We'll have to see. It doesn't smell like food. It smells like furniture. I don't know if you guys even understand when I mean that, or what I mean when I say that. That's what they look like. So I'm guessing they're just pretzels coated with the same thing that they put on Mexican street corn. Not getting much chili. Wait a second. Let me try something here. I couldn't open this from the bottom, you know, but try to do that at least. Hey, Janice, I figured there was a reason that you didn't jump in at the beginning. Knott's Merry Farm. So it's like a Christmassy thing, Janice? Like set up for Christmas? That didn't help too much. Getting the lime in there, definitely getting the lime flavor. Not getting a lot of the chili flavor, though. And they're not bad. They're not jumping out at me and saying Mexican street corn. They need to up the chili, and they need to get something that offers that corn flavor. I mean, most of the other stuff is there. You almost kind of get that mayonnaise taste. You definitely get that cheese taste. You're getting the lime. You're getting the salt. Missing there's chili powder in there. They just need to amp that up, and they need to add some. They need to add something that offers like a corn taste in there. I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle, trending upward. Thumbs up, because if you're going to say Mexican street corn, it should taste like Mexican street corn, not Mexican street corn toppings. Should taste like Mexican street corn. So thumbs in the middle, and it would probably stay there, but it actually tastes pretty good. So I'm going to say thumbs in the middle, trending upward. Oh, speaking of Janice, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, or you guys saw that, but last weekend, I got together with Janice at the LA Farmers Market. We did a big episode of LA Farmers Market. I'm still editing that because there's hours of footage that I have to edit down to 15 minutes or whatever. But we also did some reviews while we were there, and one of the reviews we did was the new Taco Bell Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. And Nashies, I saw that you just did a Mountain Dew Baja Blast cheesecake, I think, or it was like sort of a cheesecake. You were using what is it? Ocean water from Sonic, which I guess tastes like that. But we got the real thing. So Janice managed to find it, the real thing. And I think she said the reason that a lot of people aren't finding it is because you have to ask for it. So you go in. You're not going to see it on the menu. You're not going to, and I think some stores may not even know they have it. And so that's what she specifically had to ask for and everything. But yeah, she managed to get her hands on that, and we covered that. So I think that was, I want to say that came out Friday, and then Wednesday and Thursday we did a couple of other reviews, and Janice has some reviews on her channel as well. So Janice, maybe you're I don't know if you're in a place where you can put up the links for your videos, but if you go to the episodes that we did with Janice, you'll see links to her channel, and then you can check out the ones that she did there as well. So there's one that we did with it's like Kalen and Kalen Pickles, I think is the name of the place, and they had a flight of mini pickle boats. And one of them was s'mores, and I was horrified. But I tried it. So if you want to see how that worked out, Janice's video, I think she posted her video, I want to say like Wednesday or something. So it's up there on her channel. Tom, so on the episode that I filmed for Trippy Food on the Mountain Dew, on the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie, in the notes on that video, if you take a look, I put a link for your Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple Cheesecake. because I thought that was the main. I think in the video I even say to Janice something along the equivalent of well, you know what? I think Tom made a Mountain Dew pie, and it was the Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple Cheesecake. So I did put a link for that episode in my episode for the Mountain Dew pie. So, let's see. Last time you went to yeah. So Nashies, if you follow that link, you can see his pie. You can watch him make his Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple Cheesecake. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Janice. Don't worry about it. Let's see if I can do it. I think I can do it. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Oh, let's see. Let me find your channel. And I have you. Let's see. There you are. And there's your more recent. You are so prolific, Janice, that I have to like keep scrolling until I finally catch up with one of the ones that you recently did with me. Wow. Well, where are they? Let's see. Videos. Let's just click on that. 5 hours ago, one day ago. You released 4 videos in one day. One day ago, 4 videos. Man, where do you find the time? All right, let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so this is the mini loaded pickle flight with Trippy Food at Kaylin and Kaylin Pickles in the LA Farmers Market. So this is on from Janice's channel, and this is the mini loaded pickle flight. That there'll be part of that will be incorporated into our big LA Farmers Market episode as well. So go ahead and check that out. Let's see. When was the last time you went to a buffet, and where was it? Oh, there's a good question. The last time I went to a buffet was probably, let's see. Well, in Colombia, when you stay in the hotels in Colombia for breakfast, they usually have a breakfast buffet, and then you can kind of pick what you want and everything. They have coffee and they have tea and juices and stuff like that. So probably the last buffet or anything like a buffet I went to was at one of the hotels in Bogota, Colombia, and I did their breakfast buffet. If you're talking about like I don't know, Sizzler or the Las Vegas buffets or something like that, then probably the last one I went to was in K-Town. I don't remember the name of the place, but it was like a $10 all-you-can-eat buffet, Korean food in K-Town here in LA. And I don't remember how many years ago that was. Maybe 10 years ago. Other than that, I really haven't been to any buffets recently. For me to convince me to go to a buffet, I'd either have to be going with a group of people who are just happen to be going and say, let's go to this buffet place for lunch, or it would have to be like a very, very unusual and special buffet. Like, oh, no, wait a minute. Hang on. I think at Allie's wedding, I'm trying to remember if that was a Chinese buffet. I remember going to a Chinese buffet with Allie. Hard to say. It's been either way, it's been a long time ago, and I can't remember that much. All right. Hey, Steve Russell. I just started answering your question and everything, but I didn't. See, this is an example. Steve asked, when was the last time you went to a buffet? And then nobody answered it, and certainly not me. And then so he asked it again, and I did see it the second time. But like I said, if you're on like Matt's channel, not so bad. Although he'll be talking, and then all of a sudden you just scroll off the screen and then it's gone. But if you're on like LA Beast's live stream or something, it's gone. He never even saw it. So I'm glad that we have a chance to do that. And again, my request to you guys in the community, in the chat, is to help keep me honest. And so like if you see somebody ask a question like that and I didn't get to it, just say, hey, Steve Russell asked the question. So there we go. Hey, Jared Tierno is here. All right. Now it's a party. Okay. One more sip of this, which I said I wasn't, crazy about, but I'm starting to get taking a liking to it. All right, so now we're into our soft drink. And today we are doing it. Now, this is the thing that's funny is like, you see that kind of brown stuff there? I thought it was a stain on the can, and I'm trying to like clean that off, and apparently it's part of the image. So it's like splashing lychee juice. But this is from Taisun. Taisun is the company, and this is lychee jelly drink. So I got too many windows open here. Let's see. All right. Oh, I didn't answer the question. So when we were doing the Pop Daddy Snacks, the question was, who was the musician behind M, the artist who performed pop music? Let's see. Did we get any answers on that one? We did. Nashies guessed and said it was Robin Scott. Great Scott, Robin. Yes, it was. In fact, Robin Scott. Robin Scott was essentially M, the artist who performed pop music. Why did he go by M and not R or S? And these are the questions that I want to know answers to. All right. A little bit of housekeeping. Okay. So again, we're doing the Taisun. I guess it's Taisun, like Thai for Taiwan and sun for that big hot ball in the sky. Taisun lychee jelly drink. This is a product of Taiwan. Taisun Enterprises was founded in 1950 by Chan Yu Chu as Yiyu Oil Plant in Yuanlin, Taiwan. Yeah, I mean, honestly, wouldn't you expect a place that makes lychee jelly drinks, originally called Yiyu Oil Plant? Let's see. Is this carbonated? It is not carbonated, so I don't mind mixing it up a little bit. Made on equipment that also processes containing sesame. I eat everything anyway, so that's okay. Chia seeds, that's interesting. Shelf life, 2 years. Expiry date at the bottom of the can. Let's see how close we are. Expiration date is 3/13/27. 2027. But I'm drinking it today. And of course, the standard Proposition 65 warning. Okay. So again, since this is a product of Taiwan, what was the name of the island of Taiwan given to it by Portuguese explorers in the 1500s? Again, what was the name of the island of Taiwan given to it by Portuguese explorers in the 1500s? You guys were there. You should remember. Remember the 1500s? Oh, that was a time. Now, this is a jelly drink. So the grass jelly drink, there's like chunks of it in there. So I'm wondering if this is the same. I should have shook it up a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, you see them floating around in there? Those little bits floating around in there? How many of you had lychee? Or lychee, as some people call it, lychee or lychee. How many of you had that before? How many of you had lychee before? It's a fruit, has a hard papery shell. You take that up, and then there's this white kind of I don't know. It's like a rambutan or something like that. You know, that kind of same texture. Ooh, that's really sweet. I bet they add sugar to that. Let's see. Ingredients: water, sugar. Those are the two main ingredients. Coconut jelly and lychee juice. 5% lychee juice. And the rest of it is other stuff. It almost to me, it almost tastes like apple juice. I don't know why. Getting like an apple juice flavor. It's like the lychee flavor is not really strong. It's really sweet and syrupy. I don't know that I could drink a whole can of that because it's very thick. But it is a jelly drink, a jelly drink. So those chunky things aren't the only gelatinous part of it. The liquid itself is almost like a gelatin. It's very, very thick. It's sweet, it's refreshing, it's nice, but it's a little bit low on the lychee side. I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle, trending upward. It doesn't suck. It's not terrible. Trending upward slightly. That would be like on Janice's channel, it would be like a B minus. So thumbs in the middle, trending up slightly. It's just really sweet. I like the kind of gelatinous part of it. I like the little jelly bits in it, but for some reason it's just kind of weird and not enough lychee taste in there for me. So, yeah. But Janice, have you eaten the fresh lychee fruit? Have you eaten the fresh fruit? Favorite turkey preparation? Let's see. Favorite turkey preparation. I do like a deep fried turkey. I do like that. I don't know. Like, honestly, those grilled turkey legs that you get at the fair, those will like always be favorites of mine. And the thing is like I love the flavor of the turkey legs, the grilled turkey legs. I don't like the fact that it has those tendons and stuff in it that you got to pull out and eat around and everything. But flavor wise, yeah, probably my favorite. Always wanted to try deep fried turkey. Well, you have to be very, very careful, Jared. Don't do it indoors. Don't do it indoors at all. Make sure you get don't put a frozen turkey. Never do it with a frozen turkey. And make sure that if your turkey is thawed out, that you get as much moisture off of it as possible. That you like towel dry it or whatever, and get it as dry as possible. And the reason is because what you want to do is you want to get a big pot full of the hot oil, and you want to do this outside, and you want to have some sort of pulley mechanism that you're going to lower the turkey in. And the reason you're going to do this is because if it hits any bit of moisture at all, you're going to get this flame volcano that's going to just shoot up. When it shoots up, it's going to send oil out with us. The oil is going to go everywhere, and that oil is going to be on fire as well. So it can end very, very badly if you're not really careful. So again, make sure you're starting with a very relatively dry turkey. Make sure you're doing it outdoors. Make sure you're using a pulley system where you're not standing close by to it, and it should be fine. Or just go to Popeyes and order one of theirs. They'll do, yeah, every year. You go to Popeyes and just say, hey, I want to order a fried turkey. And I don't know how much it costs. It's probably more expensive than buying a turkey at the market and doing it yourself. But hey, they go through all the hassle of doing the fried turkey for you. So for me, it would be worth paying extra money to have somebody go through that hassle as opposed to me like destroying my backyard. So there you go. Yes, it had fresh lychee. Yeah. Nothing beats fresh fruit though, I think. Yes, I've seen videos. Yeah, you just got to be careful. But if you have the means to do it, then by all means do it. Okay, so that was our lychee drink. Our question was, what was the name of the island of Taiwan given to it by Portuguese explorers in the 1500s? Isan said Formosa. Janice Yamanaka said Formosa, but she asked it in the form of a question. This is not Jeopardy. Let's see. Don't lick the statue right now. Yes, don't lick the statue. Yeah, you can sniff the statue, but don't lick it because it stinks. May not be on for long. I'm going out today, my niece's birthday. Well, please wish your niece a very happy birthday from us. All right, it looks like Ice Hand and Janice answered that. Ice Hand said Formosa. Janice said Formosa. It is, in fact, Formosa. Formosa was the name given to it by Portuguese explorers in the 1500s, where I believe it's Portuguese for beautiful island or something along those lines. All right, so we have our lychee drink. We have our beer. And let's take this out of the can. I had kind of a positive feeling about this one. It still smells like beer. Oh, no. How is that? No. For some reason, mixing it with a lychee drink brings out the worst flavor of the beer. There's definitely, it's like a bad beer flavor that's underneath it. You don't get that when you're actually drinking the beer, but for some reason, that lychee jelly drink, it brings that out in there. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. Yeah, that's not good. No. Nope. That's there's no it takes the worst out of both of those drinks and does not add any benefits to it at all. There's nothing good about it. That's a thumbs down. That's a solid thumbs down. It's not good. I don't know why. I was thinking those should work together, but they don't. Both those drinks look like they could use a good flocculant before I would want to drink them. I think we don't use that kind of language here. We're not a family channel, but we try to be family friendly. So please, in the future, please try to refrain from using foul language like that. Val's joking. You're using one of them 50-cent words there, that flocculent thing. That's a 50-cent word right there. Yes, sir. Okay, time to get back into our snacks. How are we doing on time? We are doing great on time. We have half an hour left, and we've got 4 snacks to do. A little over half an hour. We can do this. We got this. All right, what's next? Oh, these. I am really looking forward to these. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought it was just this, and I was going to ask you guys to guess the product line just by the logo, but, obvious, it says Lay's, so you don't have to do a lot of thinking there. These are Lay's spicy crayfish flavored potato chips. And I'm really looking forward to this because they actually contain crayfish. The chips and stuff that come from Asia, they do it right. When they say something tastes like something, well, not everything. Like the Korean chicken ramen that has no chicken in it. But in general, like something like this, it actually has crayfish in it. So I think they mentioned crayfish several times, I think, in the ingredients. But it also has anchovy. I think there was another fish that they mentioned. No, I guess it's just anchovy and crayfish. So, and a lot of these, like even the ramen noodles, the instant ramen noodles and everything, the seafood flavored instant ramen noodles. Like I just did one. It'll be a short coming up, but I can't remember I think it was Nongshim. I think it was Nongshim. It was a squid. It was a squid ramen, and then it said and other seafood, and it had like crab and a couple of other different seafood things. And so not only does it have squid in it, but it also has other things in it as well. And I think that's always nice, is like to add these other things that kind of give it that that seafood flavor. But these are from Lay's, and these are Lay's potato chip spicy crayfish flavor. Now, as you remember, Lay's was founded in 1932 by Herman W. Lay in Nashville, Tennessee as H.W. Lay and Company. Lay's chips launched in China in 1997. This is a product from China. So as long as we're talking about crayfish, or crawfish, as it's also sometimes known, what is the name for crayfish commonly used in Texas and Louisiana? What is the name for crayfish commonly used in Texas and Louisiana? And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's mostly used when you're going to be eating them. That broke open remarkably well for an Asian snack product, because usually they're sealed tighter than Fort Knox. Oh, it smells like seafood. I like the spice. And it definitely has that crustacean flavor. I don't know what I would pick it out as crayfish. It almost tastes like there's an artificial sweetener in it. Let's see. I'm not seeing, there's sugar in it. Let's see. Maltodextrin. Aspartame. That's what it is. They put aspartame in there for some reason. You can taste that. A really interesting smell. It's not like a fishy. It's not like, you know, that ammoniated dead fish smell. Nice crustacean seafood flavor. But that aspartame flavor really doesn't belong in there. You don't have to make them sweet. Make it, you know, make it a savory thing. There's no reason to make it sweet. I don't know why they put aspartame in there, but that kind of like takes away from it. So I'm going to say thumbs up because, like I said, I like the crayfish flavor. I like the level of seasoning in it. I like the level of spice in there. Really nice. But the aspartame kind of pushes it downward and everything. So thumbs up, trending downward. So our question was, especially and regarding to food, what is the name for crayfish commonly used in Texas and Louisiana? Isan said river bugs. Janice said mud bugs. And Steve Russell said crawdads. Well, technically you're all correct. But the more popular one is mud bugs. Mud bugs is the one that's typically used in Texas and Louisiana. But throughout the South, they do call it mud bugs, they do call them river bugs, and they do call them crawdads. So so you're all correct. But mud bugs is the most correct answer. And have any of you been to a crawfish boil? So a crawfish boil, they take these big pots, they put in like Old Bay or some kind of like crab seasoning or something like that, and then they put in the crawfish, and it depends on where you go. Sometimes they put in like sausage, they put in other things, potatoes and things like that in there. Sometimes it's just the crawfish themselves, and then put out butcher paper and just dump it all on the table, and you just like go to town. And now I would say that crawfish, if you're eating crawfish like that whether they're steamed or boiled, they're a lot of work for the meat that's in it, right? You really have to dig around for it. That's why people say you suck that meat out of the head end, and you do it because there's not a lot of meat on a crawfish. The tail's where all the meat is, and then like in a lobster, I will spend my time like with a fine object breaking the shell of the legs open to get the meat that's in the legs, and definitely the claws. In crawfish, it's not worth it to go through the legs at all, and if you've got the time, going through the claws. I do love the taste of like a crawfish boil and everything, but a lot of work. So one of those foods that you have to ask yourself, is it worth the amount of effort that you have to go through to try them? So I don't know. My thing is, I guess it depends. Sometimes it's just a fun thing to be there where they're dumping these things on the table with a bunch of, corn and potatoes and stuff like that. And you're just kind of digging into that. And then sometimes it's just like, I just don't feel like working for my food today. Pinch the tail, suck the head. You got it, Nashies. All right. This one looks interesting as well. Let's see what's this guy. It took a lot of work trying to figure out what this was. Now, I mean, I could tell what it was by the picture here, right? That it's tteokbokki. I could see that it's tteokbokki. I could see that it's spicy because there's a chili pepper there, right? I thought that was his eyes, but that's not his eyes. It's a smile, a big smile on his face because he's about to get eaten. And so this is from Cosmos. This is hot tteokbokki snack. It is a product in Korea. Now, if you know anything about tteokbokki, and I don't know a lot about tteokbokki, I do know that I've had it before. Tteokbokki is usually served like alongside with ramen or alongside with rice. It's a chewy rice pasta, I guess, something along those lines. But it's chewy. It's made of rice, and it looks like I think they call it a rice cake. But it's really chewy and glutinous, and you'll find it in Korean cuisine. So this is a product of Korea. There is I think most tteokbokki is spicy, but there is also a non-spicy version of tteokbokki that uses soy sauce. What is it called? What is the non-spicy version of tteokbokki using a soy sauce base called? All right. There is no information whatsoever online on this package, even stuff that's in Korean. And so I have no idea how long Cosmos has been around, where they're located, none of that stuff. I know they're located in Korea. That's it. That's about all I know. Somebody use the scissors on this. So again, typically, if you go into a restaurant, you order tteokbokki, it's going to be, I'm saying like a pasta. You know, it's a rice dish, and there's rice cakes. They're going to be served hot, and they're going to be, you know, like cooked. This is a rice snack, so they look like. Trying to remember what the Italian name is for the pasta that's shaped like this. Not the rigatoni, maybe. Yeah, rigatoni. I think ziti's the big one, the big wide flat one. This is like a rigatoni. Ooh, that's surprisingly sweet. It's like a honey sweetness. I wonder if there's honey in here. I wonder what the hell's in here. Let's see. Here's English. Tastes like honey. Wheat flour, starch, syrup, corn powder, malt, enzyme, hot spice, mixed vegetable powder, garlic, butter, capsaicin spice powder, rice flour, Korean hot pepper paste, which is gochujang, paprika color, glucose, ammonium bicarbonate, refined salt, sodium bicarbonate, nutmeg powder, that's interesting, parsley powder, artificial flavor, cracker flavor. Why? Contains milk. What did I say that has milk in it? I don't remember saying anything had milk in it. No, that's weird. It's almost like a taste of honey, which is really weird for tteokbokki. It's crispy, it's crunchy, it's sweet, it's spicy. Now, the only thing that's disappointing about all those things about this is if you've actually had real tteokbokki, this doesn't taste like it, right? Now, that's okay with me because I had to go by looking up exactly what this was. So that's okay. It's actually really tasty. Again, that even though it's sugar, it tastes, for some reason it tastes like honey, but just the right amount of sweetness, right amount of saltiness, right amount of spiciness, nice crunch. That's a really good snack. It's a little bit on the sweet side, so I couldn't eat a lot of that, but it is actually pretty good, and that's gonna get a thumbs up for me. I'm having a pork chop sandwich with money mustard. Did you mean honey mustard? Or is there something called money mustard? Because, you know, I don't know everything. And sriracha and sangria. That's an odd combination. I don't know that I would have sangria with pork chop with honey mustard and sriracha, but, you know, to each his own. I love a good sangria. And I like a good, well, I can't actually say I've had pork chops, but I've never had pork chop in a sandwich. So, do you put that on a roll or do you put that on bread, Stoner? Okay, our question was, where did our question go? Oh, which non-spicy version of tteokbokki uses soy sauce base? Nobody answered that. It is, in fact, Royal Court tteokbokki. Royal Court tteokbokki uses a soy sauce base. All righty. Now we're going to do this, which is weird. Bread. Oh, okay. I'll have to try that. I haven't had a pork chop. I don't know if I've ever had a pork chop sandwich. I have to try that. I probably have to make it. I don't know that any place serves a pork chop sandwich. That's probably why I would have had it. This is Chester's. Are you guys familiar with Chester's? Chester's is usually like the dollar store version of Cheetos. For some reason, you don't usually see Chester's in like a big name grocery store and everything. Usually, it's like a dollar store or someplace like that where you get that. And I think it's probably where I got these at one of the dollar stores. So this is Chester's Poppers. This is jalapeno Cheese Whirlz. Chester's Poppers jalapeno Cheese Whirlz. Now, Cheetos, because obviously it's Chester Cheeto, Chester Cheater, Chester Cheetah. Chester Cheetah is the mascot for Cheetos. Cheetos were invented by Charles Elmer Doolin in 1948. The Chester's product line was introduced in 1983. So again, Chester Cheetah is the Cheetos mascot. Who is the original Cheetos mascot? What was the name of the original Cheetos mascot? We're having roast pork. Funny. Do I have any pork things here? We didn't have to do anything meaty. Everything is snacks. I don't think there's anything meaty here at all. There is not anything meaty here at all. All right. So this is most likely corn. Yep, cornmeal, cheddar cheese, onion powder, sugar, cornstarch, natural and artificial flavors. I hate that because you have to guess which one. Buttermilk, garlic powder, Romano cheese. That's interesting. Skim milk. Now, this says Romano cheese in it. I wish that a lot of the products that say like pizza flavored use Romano cheese. I think that would actually, well, you gotta have mozzarella, but also Romano. Wouldn't it be fun if you were right, Icing? Roast pork is my favorite for a Cuban sandwich. Oh yeah, you can't do a cubano without roast pork. Now here in the LA area, I think like everybody, their go-to for Cuban food is probably Porto's or Versailles. I think Versailles is another one. It's a chain that they go for Cuban food. Those of you who are well, actually, in general, like no matter where you are, where's your go-to place for Cuban food, or have you had a lot of Cuban food? They don't have that Cheetos foot smell, which is nice. They look like shurikens. They're stale. These are stale. They're not crispy. They're not crunchy. They're stale. They're chewy. And they shouldn't be. But, you buy things at the dollar store, and that's what happens. They're stale. They have a slight burn. I'm getting like a spice flavor, but I'm not getting a jalapeno flavor. There is a cheesy flavor there. And it's not like a Cheeto cheese flavor there. But the texture's all wrong. And it's because they're stale. I'm going to give those. Flavor-wise, they're pretty good. Just the right level of spice. Even though it says jalapeno and everything, it's not like offensive. It has a spice that builds, but it's not deadly, hot. But again, it's stale. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs down, trending upward slightly because actually the flavor is pretty good. But the fact that they're stale just kind of like ruins the whole thing. Now it would be like I don't know that I'm fairly reviewing it because maybe if it wasn't stale, it would taste or it would be a better experience. But unfortunately, they are stale, and so that's kind of what I'm going to go with. Porto's guava cheese Danish is my favorite. Yeah, absolutely. There's a name for those, but I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, those are really good. And the potato balls are pretty good too. All right. The question was, who was Cheetos' original mascot? It looks like Ice Hand was the only one to guess. He said Chad the cheating frat boy. I think that's the guess. Chad the cheating frat boy. I think that's your guess. The first the cheating frat boy. That's a great guess. As opposed to the other ones which don't exist. No, it was in fact the Cheetos mouse. The original Cheetos mascot was the Cheetos mouse. He was the Cheetos mascot from 1971 through 1979. So Chester hasn't always been around, but Chester's a fixture now. All right, we got one snack left. How are we doing on time? We're doing great on time. Perfect on time. These I'm looking forward to. Hang on a second. I got to clean off the screen because it looks like there's dust on there and it's catching the sunlight and it's really annoying, like me. Really annoying. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's my face. I'll clean it properly later, but I think that's good for now. Yeah. All right. So the product line is called TerraLand, which is it's redundant. TerraLand, Terra being, Spanish for land. I think it's Spanish. And these are, what does that smell? It's the crayfish chips. These are jalapeno sea salt crispy chips. Now, when I say chips, I don't mean potato chips. I mean they're jalapeno chips. They're chips made from jalapeno. They're all natural. They're vegan. There's no additives, non-GMO, clean ingredients. Well, I like that much better than dirty ingredients or filthy ingredients. Ingredients: jalapeno, maltose, sustainable palm oil, sea salt. That's it. That's the only ingredients. So again, these are from, hang on one second. There we go. These are from Coeslink. Coeslink? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's supposed to be like Coast Link, but they shorten it and it's Coeslink. It's from the Coeslink Corp. No information about the company whatsoever. Can find out where they're located in North Brunswick, New Jersey. I don't know if they were founded there. I don't know anything about the company at all, and there's no information online about the company at all. So this could be our last stream ever, because we might be done in by a company that doesn't exist. So again, they are basically, does it say how they're made? Like fried, or it does have oil. Let's see. Are vacuum fried vegetable. So they essentially they suck it up in a vacuum and then they fry the vacuum. Our vacuum fried vegetable and fruit have less oil and more nutrition. They actually called the jalapeno a fruit, which it is. Less oil and more nutrition than any traditionally processed product, which is a result of our exploration of this new technology that allows us to have a pleasurable eating experience while not having to worry about any health drawbacks. We aim to bring nature's best gift in the form of healthy snacks and chips to everyone. All right. So my guess is, if these are as I think they are, toppers is a good application of these. So like if you have a salad or something, you want to put those on top of, or maybe on soup. Val, will you ever grow out your stash again? Not while I'm married. That is highly unlikely. I have a strict moratorium from Claudia that I will not regrow that mustache. So I haven't had a mustache. Geez, how long? Over 20, maybe 25 years. I haven't had a mustache for 25 years or so. Haven't had long hair either. I come close to growing it out long every once in a while because she does like my hair long, but it gets to a certain length and it just starts doing everything. It didn't used to do that, but now it does. It just goes everywhere, and I just got to keep it short now because otherwise it just as in the words of Sister Augustine in my grammar school, you look like the wild man of Borneo, over the loudspeaker. So that's the cool thing about going to Catholic school is humiliation. Well, what they think is humiliation, but actually they make heroes out of you. It'd be good on a green bean casserole. It would be good on a green bean casserole. And Thanksgiving is coming up, so I'll keep that in mind. I demand Mr. Nashi keep his beard. Yeah, like I said, to each his. Oh, those are some big, thick pieces of. Look at the size of those things. Can you see them? There we go. Those are some big pieces of jalapeno. And they still have the hull and they still have the seeds. So these are kind of be hot. Ooh. Was not expecting that at all. I was expecting them to be kind of chewy. They're not chewy at all. They disintegrate. That is weird. Because it disintegrates into this kind of grittiness that's nothing like a jalapeno. Oh my God. There's some jalapeno heat there. And jalapeno flavor. Oh, wow. Now, one of the things I've always said about jalapenos is sometimes jalapenos are like bell pepper hot. And other times they're almost habanero hot. These are on the top end of being hot. And I'm maybe it's because, like I said, the hull is still intact and the seeds are still intact. And so that little white part there, that's the part that holds the seeds. That's the hottest part of the habanero. Like a lot of people say, or any hot pepper, most people say that it's the seeds. It is not the seeds. It's the hottest part. It's that part that holds the seeds on. I think they call it the placenta. And that's the hottest part of the pepper. And they left that in there. And oh my God, it's hot. Wow. That texture took me by surprise. It just disintegrates. You could put that on your tongue. It would just disintegrate. It's almost like freeze dried, but more moisture and substance to it. That's really unique and interesting. Unmistakable jalapeno flavor. Interesting having the sweetness. It has a little bit of sweetness and it's kind of powdery. I'm not sure what that powdery, because they don't really add anything to it. The maltose is the sugary part. It's palm oil and sea salt. So I'm not sure why it kind of has that dust on it. But really interesting how it just kind of disintegrates to that texture. Almost like freeze dried. And the heat, oh my God. It's just like, that is on the hot end of the spectrum for jalapenos. Wow. Oh yeah. I'm going to have to give that one a thumbs up. That is hardcore. That is like, it says jalapeno, it's jalapeno. It is in your face jalapeno. Jalapeno flavor. Again, the sweetness, there's a natural sweetness to jalapeno, but this one like ramps up the flavor with that maltose. I think it's maltose, yep. Wow. Those are like the L, B, and J pickle chips I had. Vacuum fried makes an interesting texture. It does. I'm back. What are we reviewing? We are reviewing these TerraLand jalapeno crispy chips with sea salt. Wow. Yeah, that's got a kick. They definitely have a kick. Banh mi sandwich. So I don't know about a banh mi sandwich. I think the sweetness probably kind of doesn't belong in a banh mi sandwich, but it could work. I love me a good banh mi sandwich. I think my favorite is the Vietnamese head cheese that they use in the banh mi sandwich, but I guess it depends on what kind of banh mi sandwich you get. There's different kinds. Different ingredients. Wow. Whew. Those are hot. There's no other word for it. Those are hot. All right. So we're done a little bit early, and that's okay because that gives us time to do goop mélange. And here is our goop bowl. You've heard of a soup bowl. This is our goop bowl. You sweating? I'm not. Well, maybe. Not really. No, I'm not really sweating. But my nose is running, and I did almost have the hiccups. I could feel the hiccups coming on, and they dissipated. All right. So let's go ahead, and I think everything's up here, so we're good. So let's start with our Lay's spicy crayfish flavored chips, which delivers on the spicy crayfish flavor. Let's just break some of those up in there. Those have a really strange smell. It's not like a fishy smell. It's just a really, really strange smell. And now our hot tteokbokki snack. Whoa! Almost ended up wearing that with the weird sugary taste. Yeah, they're kind of sticky too. And as always, I forgot to bring something to wash my hands, but that's okay. All right, let's put some of these jalapenos in there. My tongue's still burning. Maybe grind those jalapenos and add your own custom seasoning blend. I would if they weren't so sweet, if they didn't have that maltose on them, if they didn't have that extra added sweetness, I think I would do that. But because that would be really nice to have like a really jalapeno flavored jalapeno on stuff, but they break up really nice. It's just that the sugariness of it just kind of like, I don't know, like if you want something that's jalapeno flavored, that one just has maybe a little bit too much sugar, I think. It smells like jalapeno too. I might have put too many in there, but. And now our caramel corn, let's just pour those in. I might have put too many in, that's okay. And our Slurpee cherry almonds. Now that I look at them, they're a weird color. Okay, our Chester's Poppers jalapeno Cheese Whirlz. Our stale jalapeno Cheese Whirlz. Yeah, they don't even break up very well. Yeah, buy something at the dollar store. That's what you get. Although, they might make good croutons. All right, and now our eel chip star. These might be my favorite. These are just really good. Our eel flavored chip star potato chips. And our Pop Daddy pretzels, Mexican street corn topping flavor. And I say topping because there's no corn. Heat rate on that, out of 10, I'd say a 3. But, you know, compared to like most other stuff with jalapeno would be much lower than that. So that's going to be on the high end for jalapeno, but about a 3 on a heat level. You know, with Carolina Reaper obviously being on the top of that scale. I would make a lemon pepper seasoning with those jalapeno. Oh yeah, that would work on some hard fried wings. Yes, that would work. That would work, especially on wings. I think you're right. These pretzels don't break down too well. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go wash my hands. It's right there. It's right there. I'll be right back. See, I'm right here. You'll even hear the water running. Did you hear the water running, or am I a filthy liar? Focus. All right, there we go. All right. Let's mix this up. Well, if nothing else, this is colorful. This is very colorful. Look at this. Get some more of those jalapenos near the top. That'll work. All right, here we go. Goop, everybody. Goop. There we go. Goop, there it is. These are keepers. I like the tteokbokki too. That one was good. Now, here's the weird thing. All these really, really different flavors, when you mix them all together, they almost cancel each other out. There's such strong flavor stuff here. They just disappear. and spicy tteokbokki, caramel corn, crawfish chips. Everything just cancels out. It's kind of crispy, which is good because it saves those Chester's. There's the jalapeno. There's a variety of textures in there. I didn't ask the question when we did the jalapeno chips. I'll go ahead and ask it now. What are the 3 color stages of a ripening jalapeno? As a jalapeno ripens, it goes through 3 color stages. What are the 3 color stages in the proper sequence? And part of the answer, and you may find this interesting, a green jalapeno is not ripe. That's weird. Now, something sweet in there. Might be the it is the almonds. Because there's that Slurpee taste. Again, not a great taste, but they hit the mark. So they said that they're cherry Slurpee flavored almonds, and they are cherry flavored Slurpee almonds. So I got to give them credit for that. Thumbs in the middle on that one. Thumbs in the middle because, like I said, all the tastes kind of cancel each other out. So there's no really strong taste. Those jalapenos, you do get the heat from those jalapenos. That does come in. And then you get pockets of the other stuff, but not enough that says like, oh, here I am. I'm your crawfish chip, or, I'm your caramel corn. So nothing really stands out. It's all kind of a blend. It's mostly sweet, mostly hot, mostly sweet, then hot, not salty, slightly spicy, like, pepper spicy. Yeah, in that order. Not offensive at all, but just like I said, too much of a blend to make a difference. Yeah. I'm gonna say thumbs in the middle of that, but it's not a bad thumbs in the middle. It's just thumbs in the middle because it's just everything cancels each other out and nothing really stands out, except the jalapeno, the heat from the jalapeno, that does stand out. That does come back in. All right. So our question is, what are the 3 color stages of a ripening jalapeno? Ice Hand said green, yellow, and red. Nashi says green, brown, and red. You're very, very close. It is green, purple, and red. Sometimes that purple looks like black, so black would have been acceptable too. Green, black, and red. So they start out green. As they start to ripen, they turn a very, very dark color, like a purplish black, blackish purple color, and then finally they turn red. And red is when they're ripe. The reason you don't see a lot of red ones in the grocery store is because they pick them before they're ripe, so they don't over ripen or be rotten by the time you buy them. And so they ship them unripe. And then, but occasionally in the grocery store, you'll see some of them that will ripen while they're in the grocery store, and you'll see a red one. If you do, pick it up, because that's when they're going to be, when they're ripe, they're at the peak flavor. So you get the most jalapeno flavor. You also get the most heat. But that's the best time to eat a jalapeno is when it's ripe and when it's red. But green, purple, or black, and red are the 3 stages. Once visitor placed smoked jalapenos to make chipotle peppers. That smell was incredible. I can imagine. Probably hurt your eyes when you walked in. What wood did they use? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, what would you use, Tom? Like a mesquite? What do you think you would use, Tom? If you're gonna, because I know you smoke stuff. If you were going to make chipotles, what would you use, Tom? Okay, so yeah, I think overall pretty good. So we are coming to the end of the line. It is 2:59. It is almost 3 o'clock, and time to say goodbye. But before that, let's do some of our usual housekeeping. Again, I want to thank you all for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. I love you guys, and I mean that sincerely. You're just like, You are the highlight of my week, is to be able to spend time with you. I could not ask for a better community than you guys in the chat. I really, really thank you so much. A lot of you also during the week when we put out episodes and everything in the comments that leave in the episode. So I want to thank you all for your support over the years, and I really, really do appreciate you. We're kind of hovering, so we're at about 6,090 subscribers right now. If you watch us and if you enjoy our show and everything, and you have not subscribed, then please do so. Also, our friends and a lot of your chat members, a lot of your community members, like Nashies and Janice Yamanaka and Tom, old guy in Colorado, check out their channels as well. If you want to know which channels we support, you go to our main YouTube channel page, and it says featured channels under there. There's a bunch of them. Some of them we haven't heard from in a couple of years. They still have some videos out there, and they're still good videos and everything. So still support them, and we think you'll enjoy watching them. Some of them are back and under a different name. So, for instance, Main Event Pong is now Smash Cinema, and they mostly do movie reviews. And Enough does really, really good movie reviews. So mostly horror movies, I think. And so if you like that genre and everything, that's well worth checking out. So check them all out. And we thank you for your support. When you on our channel and on their channels as well, be sure to engage. Be sure to leave comments. Be sure to click the thumbs up, the like. And and when you do subscribe, make sure you click on that little bell with a little thing on it, because that way, anytime somebody's going to comes out with something new, that you'll be alerted right away. So I thank you all so much for that. So big things coming up. I think next week we might be live streaming on Saturday, and the reason is because I might be helping Matt do like a We Go Main show on Sunday. But I don't know. It kind of remains to be seen. I think we were going to do that this week, and then it didn't happen. So. But I think next week we're going to do Saturday. I'll let you guys know. Other things that are coming up, I don't know. I guess we're just going to keep on keeping on and everything. And as long as you guys enjoy us, and as long as you guys interact with us and everything, we'll be here for you, and we'll all have fun. This is not my day gig. This is not how I make my money. This is what I do because I love this. I love doing this. And I love doing it with you guys. So I want to thank you all. Thanksgiving is coming up. Some have to work. Some do not have to work. But either way, be careful out there because it's crazy. Have a warm, safe, happy, and wonderful Thanksgiving if that's what you celebrate. Or what is the Indigenous Peoples Day? However you want to celebrate that. Either way. Or memorialize it. Let's put it that way. But either way. Hopefully you have some time off. Enjoy your time off. Spend it well, and we'll see you on the other side. So we'll let you guys know before we get to next weekend what day will be there. But we hope that you'll join us and you'll be there with us. So thank you all so much for your support. And remember that it's crazy out there. So please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.